We had exclusive conversation with Ira Trivedi, who had accused Chetan Bhagat of sexual harassment, on which Chetan Bhagat used his social media platform to question her intentions.
Absolutely. And while in conversation with Ira Trivedi, she tells us how she sent him a legal notice this morning asking for public apology, and she has also told us how she was threatened through a common friend by Chetan Bhagat. Let's have a look at what she has to say.
Thank you so much, Ira, for taking the time to talk to us. You've been a very strong force in this movement, the Me Too movement that's happening here in India, and a lot of brave women like you have come forward. Just for the ones who are not aware of what happened, and who you're accusing, you have come forward and told your story of sexual harassment when it came to Chetan Bhagat. Could you please tell us the story for the ones who don't know about it?
Yes. So basically what happened is that once allegations against Chetan Bhagat came out, it became my responsibility, my moral responsibility to tell the world about, not just about a story with Chetan Bhagat and me, but also about one with an associate of mine and him. Both of us had faced unpleasant situations with him. After he had made a pass at me, I had very strictly and firmly told him no, and he had then in fact gone and said that it would never happen again, and that he would act and behave responsibly. Following that, over the years that I knew him, I had almost over a 8-year interaction with him. He would always, if he got the chance to make a pass, he would always take it. So I became very careful in the sort of interactions I had with him. I made sure that there were group settings. I made sure that there was other people around. And those are sort of platforms, that if the few times a year that I met him, it would be like this. My friend also faced, what happened with my associate is that she was abroad and she met Mr. Bhagat, and Mr. Bhagat made a pass at her on a public bus, and then later made several attempts at her, and that made her very, very uncomfortable. She had met him with me at a public function, and so she was very taken aback. She called me immediately. When I called him out, then he said he denied everything, but I knew that what she had told me was the truth, and after that I cut off all ties with him because I realized that this man would not change. Once I made my story public and I published it, Mr. Bhagat responded with an email that I had written to him several years ago. In his tweets to his 12.3 million followers, he also stated the fact that I had called him to be the chief guest at my book launch, which is completely not the truth. In fact, this book launch, was a paid project by Star TV, in which both him and I had been paid to attend the launch of a book that was based on a TV series in which he had been paid to contribute, as had I. Mm-hmm. And so he lied about that as well. And there was a third incident that he lied about, but that in the severity of his lies is not as bad as these two, so I won't get into it. I got a lot of trolling after he put these tweets up saying, "Oh, Ira is like this." I mean, people were basically calling me a high-profile escort. That's how far people went in their slander towards me, and it was extremely painful to see that. My replies to Mr. Bhagat had basically been, when I realized that Chetan Bhagat immediately responded to me, ironically, in an email talking about his wife. And in the email that he talks about his wife, at the end he says, "Kiss you, is this a figure of speech, or has something changed around here?" So he himself admits the figure of speech, and by saying "has something changed around here," he was basically trying to say that, "Oh, I tried to kiss you, you denied, you basically, said, put your foot down and said a firm no, and now are your feelings changing towards me?" I did not respond to this email because I knew that I had made a big mistake by ending an email like that, and I didn't think this email worthy enough to respond to it, so I ignored it completely. Mr. Bhagat persisted, and a few minutes later he sent me one more email saying, "Why have you dodged the K question?" So Mr. Bhagat, I did dodge the K question, like I dodged your kiss, like I dodged your bad behavior. So this just shows his persistent behavior. It shows how he tried to manipulate his many millions of followers. And this story has deeply mentally been exhausting and traumatizing for me and my family. It's been extremely mentally agonizing for I would even say for several of the women who have come out in the support of the Me Too movement, because they feel that, oh, if we go ahead and say something, we're going to be shamed as well. But Mr. Bhagat took it a little too far. Therefore, I have decided to take legal action. I sent him a legal notice this morning, in which it's clearly stated he's guilty of several crimes, which include defamation of course, but also maligning my reputation, sexual crimes, because sexual harassment that followed through his millions of followers following his tweets. So he's guilty of a lot of different things, and I really hope that post this he doesn't pull any more stunts.
Yeah. No, I think, taking the legal action for what you faced was, I think a brave decision.
Yeah. Exactly. So you're completely right, is that this is all a matter of shaming, actually. It's shaming so that women don't want to take further action. So he feels that by shaming me, I will be too scared to come forward. In fact, Mr. Chetan Bhagat even went so far as calling someone who we know in common, and he said, oh, I may be willing to reach a compromise and stuff like that, and tell her not to put out anything else I will put out more emails. So he actually had the gall to threaten me indirectly, which I thought was an exceptionally cowardly thing to do.
How did he try to, did he try to reach out to you through somebody?
Yes, he did. He basically tried to reach out to me through a common acquaintance, and he tried to threaten me, saying that if Ira releases or says anything else, then I'm going to release more emails.